Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. My name is Gideon and this is Animator Mobile. Today we'll be modeling something like this, an apartment using 3D modeling app, and you can actually import this or export this into your platform for animation like Recon 4D and Prisma 3D. So we'll be doing this tutorial. It's very simple to do. It's actually easy to set up, and if you understand this, you can actually create model house very faster with this method. Let's start with the tutorial. So this is a 3D modeling app. So we have to just scale it up, scale the cube up. When you scale the cube up, scale it to the size of the apartment you want. So I'm just going to scale it up until I can use the extrude mode to actually scale it up in 3D modeling app. So scale it until you think this apartment is enough for you. You can also scale it here on the y-axis. Here I'm just going to scale it here. So if you click on the extrude on the face select mode, we're going to extrude the face inward. So when you extrude the face inward, make sure to scale it downward. This is not a beginner guys to 3D modeling app. I hope you have understanding of 3D modeling app before you get this. So make sure you scale it up so that you won't see the outside of something like this. You won't see the outside. Make sure you scale the extruded part there, and you can actually put it inward so that to give you more depth for the room outside of the room, since we are not mostly focusing on the inside. So I think this is okay. So if you notice now, the shape you created now look boring. So one thing I want to add, if you want to make it realistic, so you must make sure your object, your shape has a bevel on it, because not every object is sharp. If you look at those edges, it's very sharp. So thank God this 3D modeling tool has this feature. So I'm just going to select every edge with the edge select mode, or you can call it vertex select mode. So you can select every edges. So just touch one and hold it down, so you're able to select everyone. So you can orbit around your screen, select one, and after selecting both, I'll go into the bevel tool. So I just click on bevel, okay, and it's going to take a while. Look at, so I can reduce the radius. I'm going to find the radius. Look at, it's actually pulling out, so I will try to reduce the radius, and the segment is actually 10, so I'll reduce it to something okay. I think that is okay, giving me that kind of look, because now it is no more boring. Now if you look at it, it is no more boring now. There are the rounded shape despite being a cube. I think this is okay. Now one thing I need you to know is modeling doors and windows could be a lot of time taking. You can just go to Sketchfab or any 3D modeling platform you think and just download this doors and windows elements, because it takes time for you to get those kind of doors and windows elements you are looking for, even though for you to create realistic stuff. So I'm just going to go to my library here. I have made some doors and windows before, I saved there, so I can actually drop the link on the channel in the channel, so that you can download the door I'm using and the window. So I just import the door and rotate it. So I'm just going to place the door there. I don't want to start modeling the door because I know that it's going to be a time take, and modeling a door is one of the easiest thing. I think everyone should know how to draw some cubes and do something, and you can watch some tutorials on how to model a door. So I'm just going to do the same thing again. I'm going to go to the asset library, the cube scales out. So I'm trying to just adjust the door to give me that kind of looking it from all angle, to give me the kind of look. I think this is okay, and I find it okay. I think it's okay. So I'm just going to select it. I think it's not necessary. I think you can also use the auto snap tool in the toolbar to get what you are looking for. So I think this is okay. So I also follow the same step. Go to my asset library, look for windows. I'll go for the one I've downloaded. Yes, so I'm going to choose this one. I'm just going to do the same thing, rotate it and find an angle to put the window in. So just kind of rotate it and look at it, then drag it down, just bring it inside the apartment. So drag it until I feel it has touched where I want it to. I think this is okay. It's more than it's outside already, so I'm just going to drag it outside again. I think this is okay. So I'm just going to drag it in place, and I can clone it. Without why 3D modeling app is the best modeling app on Android. You have a lot of tools that can save life. So I'm just going to click clone. When I click clone, I can just do the same thing. I'm just going to try and adjust it, and here we have something that look like an apartment, our first apartment. And I think this is good enough for an outside shot, if you want to make an outside shot. So I think this is good enough. So I'm just going to choose a cube. So the cube we imported, so I'll try and scale it down. All those bad affected people that corridors in apartment, that's what we're going to use. Fine, so this is fine. And I'll just use go to face select mode. I'll select cube cube remote, drag it up, and just try to create that shape I want. Since I can't scale it to the small, so I'm just going to scale it from the right and left and from the front to get that shape. I think this is okay. I think this is okay for the thing I'm looking for. So I will just clone it. I'll go to the clone, to just click on that green icon and clone it and drag it. This will be the bar at the top, so you can rotate it, something like that. Yes. So just we can actually go to the face select mode and just selecting the second one. Yeah, you can just go to face select mode, selecting the second cube. Okay, I'm trying to adjust this cube to give me something I want. I think this is okay. And one thing again is I will try and scale it. I want to extrude this cube, extrude it out, then scale it, extrude it again, going to the extrude, then and do, yeah, I think it's okay. Then I'll scale it again, extrude and scale it downward. So scale it down to give me that kind of look that it's used. So you understand all those kind of stuff. So I think this is okay for it. So this is okay. I'll just try to remove the stuff with the cube will scale up. So you can, I think this is okay. So I can also clone the cube with scale. But before we clone it, I'll go to the face select mode of the second cube and just drag it inward so that it won't be outside of that cube. Then at the right side, drag it downward so that we will know that it's going to the edge. So I think this is okay. Then go and select the cube we extruded and clone it. So I think that's good. Yes, before I clone it, I actually told you something that when you're creating an apartment and you want to make it realistic, you must make sure they don't have sharp edges. So I'm just going to do the same thing and bevel the shape. But firstly, there's a tool here we're going to use called the display selector. So I'm going to select the extruded cube and I'll go to toolbar. There's a tool there called display hidden, actually, that will display actually the only the object we selected. Now I can just go to edge or vertex select mode, then just box select. To box select, just drag on the screen and you box select everything and just go to the bevel. I press OK, and it takes time. Actually, it's because there are more vertices than that of the cube, that's why it's taking time. So this is what we got. So all we just need to do now is just to reduce the radius and the segment. I'm going to try and reduce the radius to 0 point something, and I'll reduce the segment to 3. So you can also do that. So this is fine, and you can just click on apply. You can see it's no more kind of boxy again. So go to the tool again and just don't select the cube and just go to the where you select the display hidden. You see this display on hidden. Yeah, you see actually display hidden there. So just display hidden. Now you have it. Now we can actually now clone this stuff. So go to the green icon and actually clone it. So we can just drag it to the last place until we think it's okay. It's not yet okay, so I'm still going to drag it so that I can match the cube. But you can see it's actually there's some space left out there, so using face select mode, select that cube at the edge, then drag it until you think it is okay sitting inside that. So you can see there's still a lot of space, and I think this is okay. Let's also add bevel to this edge. I told you nothing is sharp in the real world, so to make some realistic model, we are going to add the bevel to it. I think beveling the tool could make it more realistic. So you can just try and reduce the segment and the radius too. I think I'll use 3, should be okay for me, and the radius should be 0.12. I still giving me, you still look for me. I'll just try and reduce it until I find something. I think this is okay. I think this is okay for me. And go back to display hidden, and I can actually clone this down. So I'll clone this down again. So let me just clone it down and just click clone. So we have the base floor. Now we're going to add another cube. I forgot. We're going to add a cube for the bars. So I'm just going to go to the library, select a cube and scale it down, scale it very down, since it's going to be the bar. So I'm just going to scale it down very down, scale it until you think it's okay. I'm going to drag it to the bar so I can see. So go face select mode, I just drag it up to mess with the shape, and I'm trying to scale it inward as so I can find the right shape for the bar. I think this is okay for the shape, so you can just try and play with the shape you want. Might want it to be light, but I don't want to be outside, make the shape bigger than those bars. So I'm just going to drag it there. I think it's okay like this. Then I'll just drag it to the part. You see it's coming out, so I might just try and move it in, yeah, move it until I find something. I think this is okay. Just drag like, there's two ways you can actually duplicate it. So we can just clone it like that and moving it manually. But if you want to clone it with precise measurements, you can just go to the tool there. There's actually a feature in this tree, the clone tool. So you go to grid snap. If you click go to snap, you can see grid 1 point. Just have it on. Then if you have it on, you can just clone it, and it will be cloning based on, say if you clone it now, so based on the grid level. Now if you clone it again, so you have a precise measurement for each grid. Look at this, is amazing. But I'm not going to clone it, I'm going to clone it manually. The reason why I'm cloning it manually, so I'm just going to delete the other cube, is because I want to have my own precise measurement for it. Since it's an apartment, they might have different bars, they might have stuff like that. So I'm just going to move it. Sorry, mistake. Okay, I want to. Okay, I'm just going to move it. Yes, something like this is okay. So, and clone it manually, so I'll just be duplicating it manually. And you can also do that, just duplicate. You might duplicate, allow it, the duplicate should be plenty. That might, it depends on what you want. Since I don't want a lot of it, I just use the another thing I did is, sorry, is that I grouped this stuff. I group it so that it will be faster for me to duplicate. Just select everything under the green icon. You see the collaborate or combine, then you can just group the object together in 3D modeling app. So yes, and I just clone it again until I find. And if you want, you can just clone it manually. I think it's okay like this. Now this is the basic shape for your house. You see you have an apartment, right? So this is okay. So I'm just going to box select the house. So if I box select the house, then go to the green icon and click clone. So I'm just going to, since it's an apartment, it might not have a lot of building, so I'm just going to clone it. And you might want 3-story building, 3 apartments in a row, 4 apartments. I'm just going to do 3 apartments in a row for my, in a row and in a column, and 4 in the row. So I'm just going to clone again and make sure they meet each other at that point, and you think you are fine with it. So I'm just going to box select everything here again. Then the reason why I'm not actually grouping them is that because when I go to Prisma 3D or 3D modeling app, or Recon 4D, if I want to start texturing them, I can be able to texture them separate because they'll be known as separate objects. So I'm just going to duplicate it once more again to make it like from like a 4-floor stuff like that. I think this is okay, and this is good. So this is all very just simple. It did not even take less than 10 minutes to set up or 5 minutes to set up. And it's fun. So you can actually import this into Recon 4D and Prisma 3D. So I'm going to show you a video on how to export it. So go to file, go to file. I'm just going to file, go to share. So which platform you want to share it? I'm going to choose OBJ. So if I choose OBJ, oh yeah, actually click back. So I'm going to touch the backspace of the phone. So I'll go to file again and wait, I think my phone is okay. Yeah, I forgot to ungroup the windows. I think the windows are two objects, like there are 2 objects, so it will be hard for both. Thank God Recon 4D has this feature. I can actually separate model, so I'll be able to texture it properly in Recon 4D and actually Prisma 3D 3.0. So I'm just going to click share again and click the OBJ and OK. So I'll just save my name. It's good to save your object. I'll just save it with apartment, so you can just save it with anything you want. I'll save mine with apartment, then click save. So this is all. So we can just go to Recon 4D. I'll first import it, so I'll go to Recon 4D and install. So I'm just going to go back, look for Recon 4D. So this is Recon 4D, and I'm just going to select Recon 4D, yes, and yeah, this is one Recon 4D. So I'm just going to click new project, and yes, I'm just going to delete the default cube and go to the import tab here. Then when you go to import, go to Z archive. I really love Z archive. So you can just search for the apartment. That's why it's good to name your object apartment. So I name it instead of me looking for the folder where 3D modeling app actually save it, and it actually take me time. So I just search for it, then it loads out. I know this is my project. So I save it with apartment. So you can just naming is one of the important things as an artist, giving proper name. So I think this is the apartment.obj, and I'm just going to select it, and here we have, look at it, it's loaded. Look at, boom, look at it. They are separate objects which you can actually texture, and you can use it to make some cool animation stuff like that, and cool camera animation. And if you want me to create an indoor for this animation, just comment on the channel. Just drop it down comment if you want to know how to texture this, make it more realistic. Just comment, send a comment, let me know so I can prepare a next video. If you want to learn how to texture this, or you want to learn how to actually animate the indoor, make indoor of this, I think this is okay in Recon. So let's do the same thing and also import it into Prisma. So I'm in Prisma 3D 3.0 beta. So I'm just going to click new project, and I'm going to select import. So I'm just going to click import, then go to Z archive. Just the same method I did for Recon 4D. Then search for the stuff. I'm just going to apartment. That's what I used to save it. So I just don't like going to straight up, just looking for the project. So I think this is okay, and until we just have to wait until it loads out. Sorry, it's taking time. And yes, we have this. So just the same Z archive, then it's going to import it, apartments, obj, and here we have our apartment. So I'm just going to try and rotate my screen, yes, so we can see. Now that is Prisma 3D bug for you. Deva 3D call it Prisma 3D 2D, and we don't know yet whether it's a 2D feature yet, but there's a lot of bug in Prisma 3D. Look at this. Prisma 3D 3.0, and God, the bug is annoying. So since we cannot do anything, and since it's still in beta, so thank you for watching this video, and my name is Gideon. I hope you subscribe to the channel if you like the videos. Thank you very much.